welcome to the cottage. I am Babs with Cottage Rogue. This is my 23rd Flosstube, and may the 4th be with you. Yes, it is May 4th on Sunday, and I am so excited to talk to you about my cross stitch today. I also want to go over my April stats and my whip go options for the month of May, as well as some goals, and hopefully I'll be able to achieve some of these goals, that's for sure. I kind of go with the flow, but I like to have at least some semblance of where I should go forward to. So that's for sure. As always, if you like what you see here, please go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe, and also leave me a comment as to what you are working on while you're watching, because I know a lot of y'all do that. I know I do that when I watch Flosstubers. It's so much fun. But yeah, let's get started. So April was actually the month so far this year that I've stitched on the least. Part of that is because I do edit part-time. So I do have a 40-hour-a-week job, and then I will edit manuscripts, and I have one right now, and it's great. I absolutely love it. But it does take some time out of my stitchy day, which is totally fine. Totally fine. But that's what I've been working on. And, but in April, I did manage to get not one, but 2 fully finished objects. One was that Art Nouveau train that I showed the other week, and one was a new project that I'll show you today. I also had 2 new starts, 2 finished for nows, 2 whip go finishes, one in March and one for April. And I had a total of 20 stitching days with 5,026 stitches done. So that is my least so far this year, but that is perfectly fine. You know, every month it's going to ebb and flow depending on the projects and what's going on in my personal life. So it's all good. And, but first here, let me go ahead and show you what I've done, because I did have 2 finished for nows because I worked on, not only the March, which we had talked about in a previous Flosstube, for the Stitch for Pride, the March one, but also the April one. And let me just arrange this. So these 20 stitches has a Stitch for Pride 2025. And this month, meaning April, we have this beautiful, right here, looks like a broom. I love this, and this actually had a satin stitch right in here and some French knots. Here, let's see, can you see? There we are. So there's like 4 French knots there, and it is on both. Oh my gosh, oh my goodness, my stars. Well, yeah, I think this one I did a little bit better job here, but right there. So it's not going to focus for you, but there's 4 French knots above and below, and then basically a satin stitch, which I absolutely love. This is done on 20 count spooky, and April's Stitch for Pride was for Oza Windeb, and this individual, she's a 2-spirit, and from the Ojibwe tribe in Minnesota, which I actually used to live in Minnesota. So while I haven't heard of this individual specifically, I did learn a lot about Minnesotan history because I was there at the time we were learning about the history of whatever state you happen to be living in. So I didn't learn about Iowa's history. I learned about Minnesota's history, which is pretty cool. But Oza Windib was the guide who helped, who led the expedition to find the headwaters for the Mississippi River. And from my understanding, based off my research, is that there were like 3 or 4 previous expeditions where they kept finding lakes, but it wasn't the starting lake. And ultimately, that's Oza Windib was the person who led the expedition to find what ultimately became known as Lake Itasca. And so I love what I did here with the broom and the variegation and everything. I even put in a little bit of white in the middle just to kind of help with the transition between the 2 colors. It's so good. And also, let's go ahead and show you what months January through April look like. So far, look at this. Right there. Oh, it's so beautiful. I love this. I think it's so pretty. And I even have the May Stitch for Pride next, and that one's going to go right underneath his suit here. And it'll be a cavalier. I'm so excited. It's going to be so good. I got to do a little bit more research on that and to figure out, I actually think about for like a couple weeks usually on how I'm going to do the variegation on all of these. So pretty sure that this is an end and this is an end because we were told that this Stitch for Pride 2025 was going to be a very vertical piece. So I'm thinking these are the borders and then we'll have some in the middle at some point. So we'll see. Maybe the first 6 months are going to be more on the outside, but I'm very excited for it. And I'm loving what I did for April as well as the rest of them. So yay, I'm very excited. So Stitch for Pride 2025 by These Funny Stitches. Absolutely love this piece right now so far. It is so good. And I'm having a lot of fun with it, that's for sure. So we'll put that one away. And so those are my finished for nows. For March and April, actually. I just did them both in the month of April. Now I know that we have, yeah. My other finish, my other fully finished object was actually a Mill Hill kit that I started one day and finished the next. I've never done a Mill Hill beaded kit. And I'm so excited for it. So I did one, and let me just put it here. You can kind of see it's the umbrella. Oh, it's so cute. So there's some challenges with this, actually, because the kit was originally copyrighted in 1993. I had received it in probably about 98, 97, maybe 1996, around, I think probably 1996-ish time frame. And they didn't have enough white for the umbrella. So at the very top, I had to find a different color white. Or at least just some white. I didn't want to wait to order a Mill Hill beads. Just for one thing, I didn't know what color white it was. And so I just went to the local store, went to Michael's, and ended up getting some white check glass beads. And it works. It works well enough. There we go. Just focusing on my face. But I think it is super cute. And it actually does have like a pin backing that I can put on this. But I think I may do this more of like a patch. So we'll see. And I still have another one, but I mean, this works. This works right now. Yeah, I still have another one that's of this cute little, like, duck. It's adorable. I love it, but I'm going to wait to crack that open. That's for sure. In the meantime, we'll go ahead and put that down. So that was my other finish for now. That was part of the hashtag Rose B-Day Sal 25 for the month of April. And I needed to start or stitch something that with cross stitch I've never done before. And I've never done a Mill Hill bead kit. And I'm also going to include in there when I did my Art Nouveau Train by Stitching Land. That was the first time I've ever fully finished an object in the round, as well as stuffed it. Done the blanket stitch and all of that in the back. So, extra credit there. Absolutely. But I want to talk to you about May. There's a lot of stuff going on in May here. And I have decided, some people are doing Mirabilia May because, we got to have themes for the month, right? So there's Mirabilia May, there's Monogamous May, there's Mania May, Mystery May, I've also heard. And I've been looking through each one of those. Like, yes, I do have one Mirabilia, but I haven't started it yet. Like, do I really need another new start right now? Probably not. Monogamous May? I mean, yes, that could work, except I do WIPCO. I'm like, well, I don't necessarily want to be monogamous. Also, for a couple things, I've got a wedding present I'm working on, so that would have to be what I would be monogamous for. And I'm like, that doesn't work for me either. Mania, which I believe is when you do a whole bunch of new starts in the month of May. I don't want to do any new starts right now. And Mystery May, which is fun. I strongly considered Mystery May, because I was thinking I could roll a dice and then whatever it landed on, then I could choose. And I may do that at some point again this year. But at this point, because of the events that are going on in the month of May, I need to have something a bit more concrete. So I ended up watching a Flosstube channel, Jeremiah's mom. And she's fabulous, by the way. I adore her. And she is doing My Way May. She's doing May my way. And I love that. That is fantastic because then I can work on what I need to work on and what I want to work on at the time. So I love it. Thank you, Jeremiah's mom. So I'm going to do My Way May, and I have a whole bunch of stuff that I could choose from. But of course, I'm going to focus on a couple of things. The first one I'm going to focus on is going to be for the wedding gift. So Amy, if you are watching, you might want to skip ahead for a few minutes for sure, because I am going to show it. So I've been working on this, and I need y'all's help on this just a little bit. So this is a wedding gift, and they are very much into Dungeons and Dragons. And so I am making... This one's going to be for Bard, and I'm also going to have a Warlock for her fiance. And I've gotten quite a bit. So last time you saw this, I think only the D20 and these little bottom flourishes were already there. And now I have these, and I have the harp, and I think it's so pretty. I have recently found out the wedding colors are a bit more teal than this. Now, while I don't want to frog everything, I am strongly considering frogging these little flourishes right here. And then making the strings down here teal. What do you think about that? I realize it's probably a couple hundred stitches, but I can make that up in a day or two, depending on the day. So I am curious to know what you think. Also, I haven't finished this side yet. Only this side. And I was kind of on the fence anyways about this really light blue right here, because you can hardly see it against the background. Background, by the way, is Badlands from Bestitch Me. It's 20 count. So I've been doing 1/1 on this. And so, yeah. And I think that if I did the teal, it would tie the letters in more, because the letters are Bog Witch by Pirate Robin. And it looks very dark here, but it's actually a very super dark blue with a very super dark green all kind of blended together in there. It's really pretty in person, and you can tell in person. But it looks really dark here, but it's fine. I like it. So this is what the letters are going to be all the way across. Her name, his name, and probably the date. We'll see. But yeah, I'm kind of mashing up 3 different patterns for this one. But anyways, I really want to know what y'all think about these flourishes. Should I change the color to one that's more teal? Because I have, I think, 3 or 4 flosses in mind that I could choose from for these 2 colors. And then I would have to rip out one line in this harp, like right on the very inside edge there, which I could do. So please let me know. I'm going to wait like a day or two before after I post this, before I start working on this part of it and seeing about ripping stuff out. So let me know what you think. I'm very curious on your opinion. But I am loving this so far. It's so much fun. Of course, I have my little D&D needle minder on there too, which is amazing. But I'm so very excited to go. So that's what I'm going to be doing at the very end of the month. It'll be a good time. So that is going to be a definite focus piece until it gets done. So hopefully there's only like a couple of thousand per pattern, plus the letters, plus the little heart and the name or the date. But we'll find out. We'll have to see how much. Like, I only did 5,000 stitches last month, but in January I did 7,000 stitches. So if that ends up being the whole month, so be it. And it may very well be a monogamous day. We'll see. But oh yeah, and then we have Whip Go. So again, the gift is priority, but we have Whip Go. We actually have numbers 5 and 19 for May. So I'm very excited about these. So number 5 is The End by Bad Stitch. And where did I put that here? Okay, I wanted to show you what it looked like. So The End is from the Adventure collection that came from last August. It was a box that had a whole bunch of designers in it. And the one I was really excited to start with first is called The End by Bad Stitch. So here's what it looks like. Here we go. I think it's absolutely fun and gorgeous and just like, it's amazing. It's an adventure that was down on his luck. But I absolutely love it because you got like the little mushrooms in here. And I can't see what I'm doing. There we go. We got little mushrooms and flowers. And then of course we got the cause. And I mean, I think it's a beautiful pattern. It's very detailed, intricate. I got quite a bit of it done so far. Here, I can actually show you. And yeah, here we go. I have this on Garden Party, I think 18 count by Bestitch Me. And you can see I have the little mushrooms in there. This needle miter came with the Adventure collection as well. I think it's so beautiful. It looks so good. So the bones are done. The bones are done. So I'm just working on like the greenery in the background and the flowers and stuff like that. So I'm very excited about that. And then of course I still have, while I have this in here, I still have, I believe this was April's Fire and Ice, Custom Crafts. And I'm still working on it as well. I haven't had a chance to really work on this because of all the other projects I've been doing. But don't worry, they're going to be staying on my list to do. And of course, that one, just as a refresher. Oh my God, I love this one. This is one my husband gifted to me back when we first started dating. And this horse is absolutely gorgeous. You can see the eye right here. Oh, it's so gorgeous. Oh my gosh, I love it. So yeah, gotta do 500 stitches on that one still. And I'll put that one away. And then I also have the Infinite Christmas by Barbara Anna Designs. And I love, where did my Infinite Christmas go? Oh my goodness. Aha, here we go. Infinite Christmas by Barbara Anna. And it's very cute. It's a free design. And I don't have a lot done on this because I had just started this back over in December. But it's on opalescent vintage fabric by Bestitch Me. And you can kind of see this is very faint. You got the snow here that has light blue tinge on the warm background. And then these are candles right here. And there'll be 4 of them. So it'll be like a store. And with the Christmas tree. So yeah, you didn't really see anything from back there. Or even from up here. So I'm hoping to get some more dimension on this. 500 stitches on this pattern will go a heck of a long way. So I'm very excited about it. So this Infinite Christmas, that was number 19. That was number 19. And then, of course, I still have my Fungi SAL, which is from the March Whip Go that I still need to do. I still really want to work on it. And it might just be that I end up doing a whole lot of back stitching. For now, I don't have a correlation between like a cross stitch and a back stitch. And I don't really know if it counts towards my 500 stitches or not. So I think at this point, what I want to do is just get one more section of the little booklet done and call that good for the Whip Go. I still want to work on it more though, especially since the Poison Garden SAL has come out, like the first one with the cover, and I need to start working on that too. I have so many things I want to start working on, but partially because it looks like a really cute book, and partially because the cover itself will be full coverage, and I need some more full coverage things to work on now that my train is done. So that's for sure. My full coverage fanatics for the month of April, my stitch count was very, very low because I stitch on things, but most of those things were not full coverage. So I only had like 330 stitches, where in March I had over 5,000 full coverage. So in order to help combat that, I have my GeckRouge kit has come in, and so I started it, and it is so pretty. Oh my gosh. So I literally started this yesterday, and this is called Pumpkin Spice Cottage by Brazier. Absolutely beautiful, just gorgeous. So this is part of the hashtag called Gecko Waiting for Fall SAL, and myself, Anna from the Alchemist Stitchers, and Carol from Carol Kirsch, her podcast. We are all doing this, and it's really, really fun because I'm starting up here by the moon, and then the other two are starting in this corner and this corner at the bottom. So we just need one more person to start up here by the owl, and we'll have all 4 corners covered. This is absolutely beautiful, and I love it. I have 111 stitches done on it, so not a lot. And actually, the first stitch, I had to frog because I put it in the wrong place. That is too funny, but here you go. Right here. And we've just got, this is one color, got some blue, got this. I've already got long tails in the background, but it's fine. I also have this really cute needle minder that shows me what it's going to look like. And so it is like motivation to look at it, but I love it. This is 25 count gridded even weave. I am doing 1/1 full cross. I've never done 1/1 full cross on a 25 count, and I am amazed at how full it looks. It's so pretty. I mean, look at this. Oh, it's so pretty. I love it. I know you're like, Babs, come on. It's just a bunch of random stitches in a random order, and there's no rhyme or reason to it. I'm like, but it's going to turn out so nice. So I am very excited. If you can't tell, I'm very excited about this. For sure. And then I even have this pretty bag from Jasmine Custom Bags to put this in because we're waiting for fall, right? So I have my fall bag. We got the cute little gnomes and the pumpkins for the pumpkin spice and a whole bunch of fall related themes and all that. So, I mean, and also I have to say this floss, oh my gosh, look at how it's packaged. Look at it. It's packaged like a book. See? So you can just like turn the page for the next one. It works better if this is lying down, but you know, I think it's a great way to organize it for the kits because I've had some other kits before, and this is a lot better than the bobbinating and all that. So I appreciate this. Oh, it's absolutely beautiful. And then I did opt for the paper pattern as well, which is thick because you never know. Well, here we are. Paper pattern. It's so good. It's so very, very good. I'm really glad I have this really large bag here because that helps out so much. That's for sure. And I think I'm going to need to get some more of like these things at some point because I have them on a couple projects and I've run out. So I've kind of run out. So, you know, it is what it is. It's fine. And then also for full coverage, I have been working on my Descants, which is my Hayes Stitch Along for 2025. It is artwork by Stephanie Law, charted by Michele Sayetta. And predominantly, I have been working on this really dark color right here. Look at that. So this is a half stitch on also 25 count gridded even weave. And I basically went up here and all the way down here. And this brings us down to the bottom of that page. So this is the bottom of the first page. This is the bottom of, I think technically it's page 4. But that's pretty cool. I also got a whole bunch more of these nerd hoops in this size because I was sick of taking them out all the time, especially when I go between them so often. So yeah, that's what it is. So I actually have this. Oh, and this is my other new needle minder. I thought it was delicate enough. So this is doing one strand, doing a half stitch, and I think that it looks really good right there. And I was trying to fill this out, but I have a tendency to kind of keep going until the floss is finished. So unless I have to cut it, which I really didn't for this, I just went all the way down. So now I've got a lot of really good reference points, and I am so happy about it. So that's my Descants. At this point, I am not really certain at all if I am going to be able to finish the 6 pages in order to get all the charts for free, which is kind of the thing for the Hate Stitch Alongs. But I am okay with that because this is the one I really wanted. And while there's a couple, like 1 or 2 other charts that I do want, I would be okay if I only get this one. So, but that's not going to stop me from trying. I have to get 6 pages done. So I'm going to focus really hard on working with the verticals. I actually have, I think, 8 pages total so far. I'm going to get the next set in, I think, June or July. April, May, June, probably July. And it's like 1 1/4 or something. So yeah, anyways, there's that. So that's a couple full coverage pieces that I'm working on. And one's full cross and one's half stitch. So I got a little bit of variety there. One has a lot of really deep, rich, dark colors. And one has a lot of deep, rich, very light colors. So I think I've done a good job picking out my projects at least. And when I get sick of, only doing light colors, or if I can't see it, I can switch to the dark colors and, vice versa. So I think that works out really, really well. That's for sure. Couple other plans here this month. What I really want to do, I know on April 25th, Rolanda, so Ro from Rose Crafty Corner, and Adelaide from Adelaide Stitches, I've decided to work on their Christmas stockings because it's April 25 and, Christmas is on 25 and they have a whole bunch they got to do, at least one, anywhere from like 1 to 6. I don't really remember because one has one and one has a bunch. So I actually have 4 total that I need to work on. And at this point this year, if I can finish at least 1, I'm good. I'd like to finish 2. But for sure at least 1. So I'm going to join them. I haven't gotten anything worked on my stocking ever since it was pulled up for WIPGO in February. But that's fine. I will get started on that hopefully sometime this month. If I have time after my other, more pressing projects are done, for sure, because I need to have at least, the wedding gift finished and fully finished before the end of the month because they're literally getting married on the last day of May. So I probably have until like the 29th to get it all done and dusted and framed. So that's the thing. And then I have a couple other things that I would like to do. I'd like to start the Poison Garden SAL by Living on the Rainbow. And I would also like to work on my Year in the Woods series by Cottage Garden Samplings. Those have literally fallen off by the wayside at this point. And I really wanted to work on them. I had a goal. And that goal isn't happening right now. Well, like I said, I'm going with the flow. It is what it is. And if I could finish like 1 or 2 of those sometime this year, at this point, I think that would be fantastic and hugely motivating. So yeah. So another thing that happened last weekend, it was very, very exciting. So my friend Brina and I, we went out to the Cedar Valley chapter of the Embroiderers Guild of America. And see, I've got the things. And they were showcasing a lot of their needle arts. And I say needle arts because it's not just cross stitching, it's also embroidery. It's also a whole bunch of other branches of needle arts that I'm not entirely familiar with. And so they had this fun thing where you go in and then they had a whole bunch of vintage patterns that you could choose and you can pick one as like a door prize, So I actually got one. I got a portrait of Santa as a Leisure Arts. Look how cool he is. He looks so good. And this one, the leaflet was only $3, so it's definitely been a while since that. I wonder if there's a copyright in here. Copyright 1992. So, 1992. I probably saw this in the stores back in 92. But I think he is fantastic. There's a lot of backstitch in there, so I'm just going to have to get over that. But obviously not something I'm going to start right now, but I am excited for him. Oh yeah, here's a bigger version. But also they had a raffle as well. So Brina and I, we had a mutual friend, Jamie, who was showing us around. And because she's been part of it for a while, she's also an avid cross stitcher. She has so many Haid patterns, and she tries other things as well, and has recently finished this gorgeous embroidery of a new technique that she's never tried before. Which I can't even remember what it was, but it was gorgeous. Let me just tell you that. It's kind of 3D too. It's very fun. But there was a giveaway. Raffle, and so you could pay for a raffle, and there was like 25 things, and you could put your raffle tickets in. I actually got something. Look at that. So I got this huge basket full of Tamari related things, and I love it. I love it so much. So this is called so it's Tamari related. So I got a couple books. We got the Craft of Tamari. I've never done Tamari, by the way, so this is new. And then we also have Japanese Tamari, a colorful spin on an ancient craft. So I got a couple of books there. And I did a little bit of research. And apparently Tamari is making these balls. And they're originally toys for children. And they would stitch them. And they'd stitch them so tight that they'd actually bounce. And then later on, it became a way of showing how much you care about someone when you make them, and it showed very deep friendship. And they're very super pretty. I mean, absolutely gorgeous. So I'm very curious about it, and that's why I put my ticket in. This particular basket also came with a couple of ornamental balls right here that we can use, and poop. And then also this really pretty needlepoint of some sakura blooms. This was done in 2003. Yep, 2003. Very pretty. Don't know who made this, but it is gorgeous. So I'll have to find a home for that. And then also a quilt basting needles. And a whole bunch, let me see if I can get this out of here without getting too much of the stuffing, but a whole bunch of different types of floss, right? And here I go dropping them. I'm just, they're going to stay down there for now. I got a bunch of floss, a bunch of thread in a variety of different colors here, including here's got the salmon color, black, red, and then also some of this Splendor and Gold Rush right here. You got some shinies, and we have some Glisten Gloss, which apparently has 15 colors and 5 additional new ones. I have no idea how old this is or not, but I think it's super fun and cute, and so I'll be able to just use some flosses for my Tamari project, which is fantastic. And yeah, that is everything in there. Yes. Yeah, it also had a list of everything that was in there as well. So it's so fun. I don't know when I'm going to get started on this. Probably this summer sometime, not this month. But this summer, and then we'll see. I might go to a meeting and see what it's all about, and regarding the time commitments and all that sort of thing with the Embroiderers Guild of America. So we will see about that. I'm definitely going to check out a meeting or two first before I make any commitments. But that is me for the beginning here of May and the previous April stats. If you like what you saw, please go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe, leave me comments. I love to know what you're doing. And if you made it this far, please go ahead and put a little sunshine emoji. A little sunshine emoji, because it is May and the sun's coming out and it's shining in right now. And at least on my side of the world, we are well into spring. So I love it. Thank you so much for being amazing. And remember, my cottage is always open. Bye-bye.